Hibana is arguably one of the best operators in the game at the moment, and knowing how to play her effectively can definitely help you win more rounds. In this video, I will walk you through her loadout, what her gadget does, some do's and don'ts, as well as some counters and synergies with other operators in the game. This information should be more than enough to help you understand Hibana as an operator, and if I'm being completely honest with you, she's not super complicated anyway, but if you are looking to learn how to play her and you want to put her in your pool of operators that you can play, there are some things that are good to know, which we will cover in today's video. Okay, so let's start with her loadout. First things first, Hibana is a 3-speed 1-armor operator, so she is really quick on her feet, but can't tank a lot of shots. For primary weapons, she has two options. The most popular out of the two, and the one that I would personally recommend that you use, is the Type 89 assault rifle. This gun has damage of 40 per shot and a rate of fire of 850. Now, this sounds fantastic, however, the drawback of the gun is the fact that it only has a magazine size of 21. So when playing Hibana with this gun, it's very important to hit your shots because you don't get a lot of them. A tactical reload will take you 2.6 seconds, and if you dump an entire magazine, which is very easy to do with only 21 bullets, you're going to be out of commission for over another half a second, which is going to feel like forever. So, if possible, try to always reload with at least one bullet in the magazine to avoid this. For magnified scopes, at the moment, at the time of me recording this, in August of 2021, this gun has access to the ACOG and the 1.5 times scope. Now, for her second primary weapon, I am not going to spend too much time on this because it's not that great and you should always just use the Type 89, but this is a guide and I do have some sort of obligation, I guess, to at least mention it. So her second primary weapon is the Supernova shotgun. It has a damage stat of 48, a rate of fire of 75, and a magazine size of 7. Please don't use this gun. Hibana's role within a team, I wouldn't say is really suited to have a shotgun equipped as a primary weapon. I guess you can kind of use it if you want to meme around and goof off in unranked or quick match, but if you are trying to win rounds, just go with the Type 89. For secondary weapons, she also has two options. The first of which being the P229 handgun with 51 damage, a max rate of fire of 550, and a magazine size of 13. The other option is the Bearing 9 machine pistol. It has damage of 33 per shot, a rate of fire of 1100, so it fires insanely quick, a magazine size of 26, and because it's a machine pistol, it's fully automatic, meaning that you don't have to tap it. All you have to do is just hold down the button and it keeps firing. For secondary gadgets, at the time of me recording this, she has access to stun grenades and breaching charges. The loadout I usually run with Hibana is the Type 89 with the 1.5 times scope, an angled grip, and a flash hider as my primary, and the Bearing 9 with the flash hider as my secondary. The reason why I use the 1.5 times scope and an angled grip on my Type 89 rather than an ACOG and a vertical grip is because I really like the flexibility that the 1.5 offers. It's magnified, so it will help you when holding angles from a distance, but it's not too magnified to the point where it makes gunfights up close awkward. The angled grip complements my occasional aggressive playstyle, so it makes sense for me to use it, especially since I can control the recoil just fine without the vertical grip. This of course is all just personal preference. If you like playing aggressively, then I would recommend that you try the setup out and see how you feel about it, but if you prefer playing a bit safer, then an ACOG and the vertical grip should do you just fine. There is no one best way to use this gun. It's all just a matter of personal opinion, so try these out and see what you like best and what suits your playstyle. Now, for the secondary, I do highly recommend the Bearing 9 simply because it's a fully automatic machine pistol compared to the single fire of the P229. The gun does have quite a bit of recoil to it, and if you feel like you can't control it at the moment, I would highly recommend that you learn how. If you are going to be playing Hibana a lot because of the 21 bullets of her Type 89, knowing how to shoot this thing at least kind of straight will definitely come in handy. So equip the flash hider or the compensator, whichever you prefer, and practice, either in T-Hunt or load up a custom game and shoot at a wall. For her secondary gadgets, it's very situational. I don't want to spend too much time talking about these because they can literally change with any patch. If there is some soft floor above the objective, especially next to hatches, which we will get more into later, that you can break open to gain some lines of sight, and there aren't already operators that can do that on your team, then go for the breaching charge. Otherwise, you might as well go for the stun grenades and help your team burn some ADSs and get a kill or two. Okay, so now that you know what her loadout is and what you should be running, Let's talk about her unique gadget, which is why people pick her at the end of the day, and that would be the X-Kairos. The X-Kairos is a launcher that allows Hibana to shoot up to 6 explosive pellets at any destructible surface, which can then be manually activated, and they detonate after a couple of seconds. But what makes this gadget really useful is the fact that these pellets can go through reinforced walls and hatches, so this obviously makes her a hard breacher. Not only that, but she also has control on how many pellets she shoots out. She has the option of shooting either 6, 4, or 2 pellets at a time using the button that you would usually use to switch fire modes. So if, for example, you only want to make a small hole in the reinforcement to hold an angle without giving the enemies too many possible lines of sight on you, that is completely possible. It is important to know that different things require different amounts of damage to be destroyed and opened up, which means that they do not all require all 6 pellets. For example, a soft hatch requires 2, a reinforced hatch requires 4, and a castle barricade will also go down with just 2 pellets. Keep this in mind when playing Hibana, and don't just use all 6 pellets in any scenario, especially when it comes to opening up hatches, which we will get more into later in the video. I feel like I say this every single time I talk about an operator, but there is not too much to say about her counters. But of course, they are still worth talking about because if you are going to be playing her, you need to know what they are. Her counters are basically stuff that can prevent her from opening up a wall. So those would be Bandit, Cade, or any other future operator that can electrify walls or hatches, and mute signal disruptors. Of course, Synergies would be anyone that can help her get rid of these gadgets, so that would be IQ, Twitch, Kali, Thatcher if he's not banned, and those kinds of operators. As for operators that Hibana herself counters, there isn't a lot. I guess the most important one to keep in mind is mirror windows, because if the wall isn't electrified, you can shoot your X-Kairos from a safe distance to take it down. Okay, so now that you know all of this, what exactly should you be doing as Hibana? The number one thing you need to focus on when playing Hibana is opening up hatches. Hibana is not like the other hard breachers. While the others focus on opening walls, Hibana specializes on opening hatches. They call her the Queen of Hatches, and for good reason. She can open up a hatch with only 4 of her pellets, meaning that she can potentially open up to 4 reinforced hatches with her gadget in a single round. This doesn't mean that you can't open up a wall with Hibana if you need to, it's just that Termite and Daze are better suited for the job than she is. Also, try to not get yourself killed too early into a round, especially not before you have opened up all the necessary hatches. Yes, she is a 3 speed, and yes, she has a Type 89, which is a really good gun, but she is not an entry fragger. So leave that job to other operators, at least until you have done yours. But yeah, I hope this video was useful. If you want to learn how to play Zero next, you can click the recommended video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Why does it look like a PP?
I wondered too.
I did not intend to do that.